Today in 7 Days to Die, we are taking a look at some absolutely amazing POIs to set up your base in. Let's get to it. Before we get to the locations, I just want to state so that there is no confusion, these are actual base locations that you're going to live in and set up in, not horde base locations. And when picking these, I was looking for a rather large criteria of different things for them to meet. Everything from easy to defend, hard for zombies to break into if the defenses fall, to being spacious, as well as easy to expand and build on. All right, on to our first location. Our first location is the Industrial Tank number 1. At first glance, you may overlook this as a spot to set up a base on, but it has a lot of really good features to it, and on top of that, it's a great spot for a starter base as they are very common in the forest biome. They're actually common in all of the biomes. So let's take a look at some of the features it has. First off, it has almost an entirely complete wall built around it. Now, this wall doesn't have a ton of HP, it's just basic stone at 1,200 hit points, but that gives you plenty of time to react to zombies. Completing the wall is pretty easy. It also has some fence around it. I would advise tearing the fence down and just continuing to build the stone wall and building it all out of stone. You can leave the fence if you want, but the fence has even less HP than the stone wall, coming in at 300. Aside from the stone wall, it is super easy to fortify. This is one of the most easiest to fortify locations as far as making it hard for zombies to get to you. There are 3 ladders. There are 2 on the outside and 1 on the inside. You just want to take out the first 2 blocks that make up the bottom part of the ladder, and that's it. Zombies can't get to you easy after you've done that. If zombies do manage to get through your initial defenses for whatever reason and try to break their way in, it's not going to be easy for them to get to you if they try to dig their way in, because the bottom of this thing is made out of metal, and then the inside of it has a layer of oil shale that they also have to dig through. It's also hollow inside, so there's not a lot that they can jump on or tear down to make easy stairs. They literally have to bring the whole thing down in order to get to you. The top of this thing is also a massive platform with a ton of space to set up a base and build your base on top of. And placing down your claim block in the very center of it, which is already marked out for you, will cover the entire thing with your claim block land claim location. So if you spot one of these in your next playthrough, I highly advise giving it a try. I promise you won't be disappointed. The next base location, in no particular order, is the Serrano residence. This one's one of my favorites because it's just really cool. And you're looking at this and you're thinking, that looks like a terrible place for a base location. And you are correct. The top of this is a terrible place for a base location, but we are not after the top. We are after what is underneath. There's a massive facility underneath of this thing, and it's super easy to get to. You are just going to go through the gate around the side and go through the open door. And then you just make your way into this area, and you will see that there is a set of stairs when you head back, and that takes you down to a wine cellar location. You're going to head back underneath the stairs. You will see that there is a hole in the wall. You want to take out the blocks to open up that hole so that you can get in there. Then there's an elevator. You just want to open up that elevator, jump on top of the elevator, and then follow the way down. There's a ladder and a rope, and it gets super, super deep. You're going to go way down underground, and you can see that there is a large facility under here, and this is the spot that we want to set up as our base location in this giant cavern. Now, I will warn you, there are a ton of zombies inside of this building, and just getting down here, there's going to be zombies all over. But once you get all of them cleared out in the main area, you just want to go to the large doors there in the front of the facility, open them up, go through the next set of doors, and those will open as well. There's a door to your right as soon as you walk in the main doors. There's going to be some zombies and stuff in there as well. And if you head up the ramp, you will have a door that is open that leads to an elevator that doesn't go anywhere, then another door that is locked. I advise just taking that door out real quick and then head on down into there. There's a door that will be unlocked once you head into that room, and you can go around to the main area where the main stash is. There's going to be a bunch of zombies in there that you're going to have to deal with as well. Now, you're going to see a red switch there that you're going to want to activate. Don't touch that button. That's going to open the vault door. You won't be able to close it. I mean, unless you want to break it down and put your own vault door in there, but I would just leave that alone. That leads to a shaft that leads all the way up to the top. That is another location that to get into it that's actually buried up there. I would just leave all of that be. There's also a little balcony area that you can see from the main observatory area, or whatever you call it, the main hall in there. You can access that area by going through that first door that we went through, and there's a ladder there. If you go up the ladder, there's an open door that leads to that area, and across the way there is a kitchen. The place comes comes with its own vending machine, which is also really cool. And if you place your claim block where I show you here in the video, you will cover the entire area of this little facility down here so that you can ensure that no zombies respawn. The base is already pretty well fortified, and there isn't a whole lot you need to do in order to keep zombies out. I highly suggest just doing these 3 things though. First, you're gonna head back out and up to the top of the house, and there's a grill out back, or there should be a grill. You can see where I'm at here. It's near the door that we went in at, and stand between the grill and that first pillar there on the porch and back up just a little bit, and you want to start to dig a hole, and quickly you will see that there is a hole that leads all the way down. You can fall down into there pretty easily. I would fill that in as it's a quick area for the zombies to dig in. They don't have to dig through many blocks before they can pour in there if for some reason they would start to pour in there. Then looking at that same location, so stare at the side of the house again between the grill and that pillar there, you want to do a complete turnaround and look behind you. You can see there is the corner of the wall to the back right. You're going to run to that corner, and to the right of that corner there is a pillar there. You want to come out from that pillar just a little bit, not too far, and start to dig down there, and you will see that there is another spot around here. Right there it is, and I would fill that in as well. It's pretty easy to fill in. Just make yourself some soil blocks. You don't need to use anything too crazy, and just place them down in that area there and fill it in the best you can. You don't need to fill the whole thing. Just make it deeper than what it is now, because there isn't a whole lot of blocks for zombies to dig through, and they will know that they can dig through there and that they can dig through that location fast. They can see through the blocks, so they'll know that they can dig through that location because there isn't a lot of blocks there. So just take your time to fill that in with some soil or stone or whatever you want to fill it in with. And then the last thing I would do is just block up and put a door there in front of the elevator that we came into. That's it. That's all you really need to do to fortify the place, and you're good to go. Aside from being really easy to fortify, it's a cool location because it's so far underground and hidden and out of the way. And the other thing is that it should be, from what I know about how screamers work, basically screamer proof, because you are so far underground that they will just spawn, because they'll still spawn, but they'll spawn up top and won't be able to find you. They'll just wander around up there doing whatever screamers do till they should eventually just despawn or wander off somewhere. Next, we have the Smithstone silos, and this one is fantastic as well. Super easy to set up to defend. You don't really need to do a whole lot. So of course you want to go through and clear out all of the zombies per the usual. There's going to be a bunch in here. And once you have done that, fortifying the area is very simple. So there is a yellow ladder around back. You want to take out 2 rungs of that, or 2 blocks high of that. 3 if you want to be extra careful, and that's going to prevent the zombies from climbing up the ladder. Then you want to head to the top of said ladder, and there's a door there and a conveyor belt that leads up to that door. Just take out a couple of blocks of that conveyor belt. It doesn't have a lot of hit points, so it's pretty easy to take out, only 300 a piece. Once you've done that, you will ensure that there's no way up to the top that zombies can easily get to. If you're a little worried, there's a few other things that you can do to fortify the area a little bit more. That's the necessary part. So if you head around all the way to the back side of the thing, or the long end of the thing, I don't know where I'm at here in the video, you can see that there is a ladder on that little silo and a board going across. Now we can open all of these doors to these silos, but I wouldn't do that. I would just drop down onto that board and then delete that board, just knock it out so that there's no way across there to get over to there, and that will fortify the back half of the building. Then you can just head down the ladder and back over and back up your main ladder, your main entrance way. At that point, this place is insanely fortified. It's very high up off the ground and hard for zombies to get to. Each of those silos are made out of concrete blocks, so they're 5,000 HP a piece, and they're also filled with varying levels of dirt. So if they do break through one of those blocks, then they also have to dig through a bunch of dirt. And because the silos are cylinders, they will just have to dig out the wall to create a set of stairs, and they're not going to. Like, you would have to be AFK for an entire multiple horde nights for zombies to finally figure out how to get up to this area through the silos. They'll stack at the ladder and climb up the ladder due to stacking before they'll bust through one of the silos and get up that way. Speaking of the ladder entrance to this spot, another thing that is absolutely phenomenal about it is it allows you to just place a hatch right on top of it. It's perfectly suited for a hatch. You don't really have to do anything except just place the hatch there on top of it and you're good to go. The zombies will then have to break through said hatch if they manage to stack up and get up the ladder somehow. If you're worried about them stacking or something inside the other area where you took out the conveyor, the chances of that happening are very slim because that conveyor is broken up and it's not a straight path up. But if you're really worried, you can just take out more parts of it and they're not really going to get to you through that location. I absolutely love this base location for multiple reasons. Not only is it very quick and easy to fortify, and you basically just don't have to worry about zombies getting into it after that, it's also super simple, nice long rectangle, really quick and easy to clear out that you have all of that space in to do stuff with, put all your workstations. They're really easy, nice, quick there to find. You have the tops of each of the silos that you can build little additions on if you need to, and the top of the base is super clear and super easy to build a bunch of dew collectors or a large garden on top of. I will point out that there's a large chunk of the roof that will collapse when you stand on it. It's right there near the entrance location, so I would just jump up there and go ahead and stand on all that and let that collapse, and then you can just quickly rebuild that with some wood. You don't have to be super fortified up here because zombies aren't going to get up here to get into your base, so you don't really have to worry. And if you place your claim block somewhere near the center of that large rectangular structure there on the top of the silos, it will encompass this whole area, ensuring that no zombies can respawn. It is an absolutely fantastic base location that is super simple to fortify, and I highly advise checking it out. Last but not least, we have the Pantelli residence. So I'm going to admit right off the get-go, this one is going to take a lot more work to make secure, but I think once you do so, it can be an absolutely fantastic base location. Let me explain why. First off, securing it, like I said, going to take a little bit longer to do, but it's as simple as building a wall, and it already has an outline for you to follow to build the wall. There is a white concrete wall that surrounds this whole location, and all you have to do is build like a 2 or 3 high wall all the way around, just following that line that is already on the ground mapped out for you. Next, you're going to need to take out a few sets of stairs. So on the outside of the house, there's a set of stairs on the one side that you will need to take out that lead directly to the second floor. You definitely want to make sure that you take all of those stairs out and just kind of cap the floor there on the balcony and make sure that there's no way up through the outside at all. That's a huge weak spot. Next, on the inside, there's a set of stairs that lead up to the second floor. I would get rid of those as well. From the second floor up is where you are going to set up your base, and you have a ton of open space in here. It may not look like it, but you need to clear out all of the furniture and you'll start to see how much potential this has. And what I really like about it is 2 things. First off, it has large balconies on both sides, which give you more space to set up stuff if you want, like dew collectors or just crafting stations, what have you, storage locations, whatever you want. But if you head up the stairs up to the top, the roof is just this massive flat area of potential that you can just do all kinds of stuff with, and it's nice and high up. And because the wall that you set up is relatively close to the house, and so close to the house in many locations, you can easily just look down and get a really good view of what's going on around your base. So if you hear a zombie somewhere, all you have to do is just head to one of the balconies or head up to the roof, and you can just run along the edge of the roof and look to see where the zombie is, and then just shoot down on top of it from overhead. Now, if you get caught up in like a screamer horde or something like that, as I stated, this isn't the most fortified location. There's lots of things you can do to fortify it more than what I've already stated, like trenching it and stuff like that. But I think that this is a pretty good location if you're not too scared. You're maybe playing on an easier mode. You don't have zombie block damage turned up. You're not worried about a massive horde walking through and just ripping through your base. If you're not playing on settings that would cause things like that to happen, I think this would be a really good base location. Sure, it's going to take you a little more effort to fortify it, but once you get it done, I think you'll be really happy with all the space that you have, the nice openness feel to it. The way it's just laid out is really cool. I really like these modern house designs, and yeah, give it a try. See if you like it. All right, and that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you all found this video helpful and informational. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my 7 Days to Die content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.